Whether we like it or not, Sygna Gladion is the first among 4 bait sync pairs of the 4.5 anniversary. The other 3 being Anniversary Lily, Signasuit Lusamine, and most of all Signasuit Steven, all with their EX roles. So, I have 2 questions for you. First, is he worth being a bait unit? Second, are you going to take the bait? You'll know the first answer in this video. As for the second one, you guys tell me in the comment section. So with that said, strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, and let's begin this analysis video. Here we go! Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. And guys, we finally have the very first Fairy-type Master Fair in the game in the form of Signasuit Gladion. Everyone has been waiting for Signasuit or Gladion to have an alt, to have a Signasuit, and it's finally here, and I like this. I've been guessing that Gladion will be paired up with Guzzlord, or, you know, people have been guessing some other stuff, but Magearna, or Magearna, I'll be referring to this as Magearna in this video, is a nice thing, and this outfit is actually pretty looking cool. So, tell me, if you are scouting for this sync pair, I would personally, as usual, be scouting for everyone and have them max. This one is a Master Fair. Master Fairs max out at 3 copies. Now, he has a Trainer Lodge snapshot. If you're able to get 5 copies, you have the nice looking photo with Magearna in the bottom. I really wish I could give him or get him 5 out of 5, but you know, let's just stick to 3 out of 5 first and see what happens. But I would personally love that Magearna snapshot at the bottom. So hopefully we can get him to 5 out of 5. But remember, this is a bait unit. And as a bait unit, that means that this sync pair is meant to steal, to use up all your gems, especially with the anniversary so near. And for those who are not yet, you know, if you do not know yet, the anniversary is coming end of February. It's either February 28, 29, March 1, March 2. It's definitely one of those dates, but the anniversary is around the corner. And who knows what the anniversary sync pairs are. Anniversary sync pairs normally are kind of good, are kind of overpowered in some way. There are some certain exceptions, but still, Signasuit Gladion, is he gonna be master, rather, is he gonna be anniversary level? Well, let's find out. So, if you wanna see these sync pairs in an overview basis, you can check out my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video where I discuss each one of these guys in brief. And yes, if you're watching this brief video as it comes out, I have skipped the Palentine's units. I jumped straight to Gladion. I'll be talking about the other 2. So if you want to know more about Palentine's Victor and Palentine's Candice early on, you can check this video out so that you have my analysis of everyone. And while you're there, you can check out my how many gems can we get for the month of February 2024 for the number of gems. The horrible amounts that we're getting. But anyway, we're gonna talk about Signasuit Gladion. 3 out of 5. That's his maximum kit. And before I continue, a huge shout out goes to the members of my channel. You guys know who you are. Thank you for supporting this channel for the longest time. If you want to support, click on the join button down below, or just right now, hit the like button and let me know in the comment section if you are falling for DNA's bait. Hopefully, you have some gems left after scouting for Signasuit Gladion because, you know, anniversary is just around the corner. But this guy comes out on the first day of the run up to 4.5 year anniversary, which is, let me just hide myself. This This guy is starting on February 19. And February 19, you can get a lot of things. February 19, you can get your Alcremie. That's a free sync pair, and you can choose one from 6 different colored Alcremies. Yes, all of them have the same ability, same passive skills, same sync grid. Yes, they have a sync grid, same everything. And you can no, not Alcremie, sorry, my mistake. February 14 is Alcremie, February 19 is Riley. You can get Riley on February 19 for free. And by logging in daily, you can get enough custom 5-star power-ups to make him 20 out of 20, make him a 6-star EX sync pair. But if you're like me, day 1, I'm gonna make him 6-star EX. This sync pair lasts until March 31, or rather, March 31, and he'll be gone on April 1st. So you have a lot of gems a lot of days to scout for Sygna Suit Gladion. If you decide to wait or to test your luck with the Master Fairs first, or rather with the Anniversary units first, yes, you probably still have time. I'm just not sure if you will have enough gems to be able to scout for Sygna Suit Gladion. And as the rest, Chase is ending on February 20. That means the first day of Sygna Suit Gladion is the last day of Chase. So if you want to test out your luck with Sygna Suit Gladion first and then try it out with Chase, yes, you have time for that. But remember, that's the last day. As for Falkner, Falkner ends 1 day before Sygna Suit Gladion comes out. So I already have a video of Falkner. Check it out if you haven't. Sygna Suit Gladion is a strike sprint sync pair. And as a sprinter, that means after you use your sync move for the very first time, your sync move countdown will be lowered -3. That means if you do your timing and your moves correctly, you should be able to use your second sync move even before the opponent is able to use their first sync move. And as a striker, he will be able to hit every single opponent using his sync move. So that's a really good thing. As a Master Fair, if you have paid gems and you use paid gems to scout for him, through his paid route, you will be able to immediately get 1 sprint roll kick, which means you'll be able to give him the sprint EX roll or probably give another sync pair the EX roll. I personally think that you should give Master Fairs their EX rolls if you are able to get the thing. Now, I haven't given EX rolls to all the past rerunning Master Fairs yet, just like, for example, the only rerun Master Fairs that I gave EX rolls were Thunderbolt Red and Aura Cynthia because I believe that they are worth it. As for, like, for example, Champion Callum, Champion Serena, and who else? Sygna Suit Serena, I have not yet given them their EX rolls. But I'm considering, probably eventually, it's easier to get EX rolls now from the Battle Rally. Just so you know, yes, we're getting only 1,200 gems to 1,500 gems per month versus the Battle Villa 2,000 gems. But you're able to get at least 1 if you play decently. You should be able to get 1 brand new EX roll per month with your Battle Rally. So, yeah, it's not too bad. So, that's that, guys. And now, let's talk about the in-depth kit of Sygna Suit Gladion. If you see this background image, I'll definitely find your family, which I'm pretty much confident that he's referring to Magearna over here. Yeah, congratulations. You have successfully scouted for 1 copy. And this background image kind of reminds me of Sygna Suit Wally. I think Sygna Suit Wally's image is like color blue, or probably Sygna Suit Sygna Suit Hilbert is a little bit color green tinge, I think. But anyway, this is again the very first fairy type Master Fair in the game. He has 2 attacks. One is a normal attack called Fleur Cannon, and the other one is a buddy move, Piercing Fleur Cannon. And every single time you use Flare Cannon, normally you will have your special attack lowered. But his passive skill, just give it up already, will prevent your stats from being lowered. And every single time you use Flare Cannon on the opponent, instead of you lowering your stats, it's the opponent having their special attack stat lowered, which is very nice. And then if the opponent decides to lower your stats, like for example Discourage, or probably Backfire, or some other, like for example Snarl normally lowers your special attack, or Leer lowers your defense, or anything like that, the buffs will reflect on the opponent, and the opponent will have their stats lowered instead, which is really, really nice. And then you have your Piercing Flare Cannon. This basically happens, or this basically unlocks after you have used Flare Cannon. And the more the opponent's special attack stat is lowered, the stronger your attack, the stronger your Piercing Flare Cannon is gonna be. To a maximum of to a maximum of the more the currently special, I think Homa Tools says that the innate multiplier of this one, I'm gonna check later, is 4.5 times, or was it 3 times? 3.5 times. But the lower the opponent's special attack stat is, the stronger your attack is gonna be. Now this is an AoE attack, and normally AoE attacks don't matter. Whatever opponent you target, it's gonna receive the same damage for everyone. As you can see over here, the power of this move is not lowered even if there are multiple targets, but the more the currently target opponents. So you have to choose which opponent you want to target. And if one opponent has their special attack stat at 0, one opponent has their special attack stat at -3, and the other opponent has your special attack stat at -6, you'll have to choose the -6 special attack stat in order to dish out the maximum damage for everyone. If you choose the opponent with the 0 special attack stat, it's gonna dish out not too high damage versus if you attack, or if you decide to target the one with the most lowered special attack stat. So just keep in mind and make sure you target the opponent with the lowest special attack stat. That means the opponent that you use Flare Cannon and your other debuffs on, target that opponent and you dish out the maximum damage for everyone. Now this is only 1 MP, so you can only use this once, but the moment you use it, you will be able to raise your own special moves up next effect by a maximum of 3 stat ranks, depending on how low the opponent's special attack stat is lowered. That means you'll be able to make your next attack gonna have a maximum of a 120% stronger damage. 120% stronger damage if you have your 3 stat ranks of special moves up next effect. That means your next attack is gonna be really, really, really powerful. You have X Speed Plus, just in case, you know, you are low, you're kind of slow. Not really slow, you have 372 speed stat, but then Flare Cannon and Piercing Flare Cannon are 4 move gauge attacks, and that speed stat extra buffs will definitely help for this one. Then My Soul is Shaking, your trainer move, is Haya, has also a 4 move gauge trainer move. And yes, it will eat up your move gauge and everything, but still you have X Speed Plus to speed you up. It basically maximizes your special attack, it maximizes your critical hit rate, it gives you a free move next, and it gives you a special moves up next effect by 1 stat rank. That means your next attack is gonna be free, and then your next attack is gonna be powered up by 40%. Now, I think I can do something like this, just in case you wanna do something like this. Use 2 X Speed Plus or use 1 X Speed Plus, and then use Flare Cannon, lower the opponent's special attack -2. Although it's not gonna be a critical hit, it's not gonna be powered up because your special attack stat is at 0 still. And lower your opponent's special attack stat -6 first. Maximize your speed stat. Use My Soul is Shaking so that you will have your critical hit rate max out, your special attack stat max out, your special moves up next effect +1 so that your piercing flare cannon will be powered up by 40%. Or you can just use My Soul is Shaking first and then just leave that 40% extra damage for something else, for flare cannon. So that's completely up to you. Sync move, as a striker, he has no built-in sync move multipliers. So that's sad, but that's life. And again, EX roll is sprint if you decide to give him his EX roll. As for passive skills, as a master fair, he has a built-in passive or master passive. Alola Spirit, the more Alolan sync pairs you have, you can power up your allied sync pair special attacks by up to 50% stronger special attack damage. And that's only working for your normal attacks as well as for your buddy moves. Max moves, I'm not too sure, but sync moves does not affect. And you can receive less special attack damage from the opponent to a maximum of 31% special attack damage reduction. So just having a Master Fair in your team alone powers up your sync moves or your sync pairs quite a lot. So that's the advantage of having a Master Fair. Just give it up already. We have already talked about this one. Condition nullification. You will never be hit or you will never be poisoned, burned, frozen, everything like that. You will never flinch. You will never be trapped. You will never be confused. And Soften Up 1 basically guarantees that the moment you use your trainer move, My Soul is Shaking, your sync move is gonna always land critical hits. Except if the opponent has critical hit defense or vigilance or anything like that, you're basically guaranteed critical hits every single time you use your sync move. Which is very good because strikers often suffer from this emotional damage that one opponent will not hit or two opponents, sometimes even three opponents. Even if you have maximum critical hit rate, it's only an 80% critical hit for your sync move. So this basically guarantees that you will not receive those emotional damage. So that's Sygna Suit Gladion and Magearna's base kit. And now let's talk about his sync grid. 1 out of 5, you got Sand Shelter, just in case you want to pair him up with a Sandstorm unit. 2 out of 5, you got Flare Cannon Move Gauge Refresh 3. 40% chance of restoring one move gauge. KO opponent special boost up to 9. If you are able to KO an opponent, whether it's Flare Cannon or Piercing Flare Cannon, you will get 1 special moves up next effect per opponent that you KO. So, if your Piercing Flare Cannon KOs 2 opponents, that means you will get a special moves up next effect +4 plus up to +3 special moves up next effect for your Piercing Flare Cannon. That's +4 +3, that's a +7 special moves up next effect for your next attack. That is pretty powerful if you decide to go for this one. My Soul is Shaking MP Refresh 2. Not sure you want to get this, probably for the free move next. Probably for the special moves up next effect, but it costs 4 move gauges. I'm not sure why you want this, you can skip this. Speedster Sync 3, if you have raised your speed stat, you will raise your sync move damage by 30%. Super Syncer gives you a super effective up next effect the first time you use your sync move in battle. That gives you an additional multiplier. Super Duper Effective 2 powers up your Fairy type attacks if the opponent is weak to Fairy type attacks. Sync Regen, after you use your sync move, you will get a gradual healing effect. X Speed Up, MP Refresh, you don't need this. 3 out of 5, you got first sync move, Restore Buddy Move MP 1. So, you'll be able to use your buddy move twice if you get this, which is nice. Piercing Flare Cannon for the second time after you use your sync move is gonna be really powerful. Brain Power, the higher your special attack stat is, which you can max that out with your trainer move, the stronger your sync move damage is gonna be. Discourage 2 at the start of the battle, you lower everyone's special attack stat, which makes things easier for you so that you can max out your piercing flare cannon damage. My Soul is Shaking Propulsion 9 lowers your sync move countdown -1 if you use my Soul is Shaking. Overpower is basically it's basically the lower the opponent's special attack stat is, the stronger your flare cannon / piercing flare cannon is gonna be. Sync move on opponent's special attack down 4. If you get this, make sure you have your Sygna Gladion 6-star EX. So that the moment you use your sync move, if the opponent's special attack stat is not yet lowered to minimum, all the opponents will have their special attack stat -4. And then trainer move special boost up 1/9. When you use your trainer move, any trainer move, X speed plus my Soul is Shaking, you will have your special moves up next effect raised +1. That's a 40% increase in special moves up next effect or your next special attack stat. Every single stat you raise this. X speed plus, buy 1 get 1/9. The next move is gonna be free after you use X speed plus. And 2 power up tiles for your sync move. What can I say about the sync grid? It's pretty okay. Nothing too OP, but still pretty much OP. So let's talk about some options for you guys. This is my DPS option for Sygna Gladion. So you have Overpower over here to power up your special attack or your flare cannon / piercing flare cannon. The more the opponent's special attack stat is lowered, you have Super Duper Effective 2. And then I kind of want to get First Body Move Restore this one. Can I get that? I need to pass through this. I need to pass through 7 energy or a 10 energy. Let's see if it's possible to get this. If I remove this, get this, it's not enough. It's not enough. If I remove this KO special boost, something like that, is it gonna be enough? I don't think it's gonna be enough to get your first sync move restore. You have to sacrifice one of these tiles, either Super Duper Effective 2. So DPS probably gets Super Duper Effective 2, since DPS means damage per second. You'll be only using your body move once. Probably get this, probably power up your flare cannon like this, and probably this, and something like this, or something different, like for example this. Give him a lucky skill, critical strike 2, check the damage, fairy type. The opponent, you will not have a super effective up next effect because we removed that. And let's see the damage. You have your special moves 50% powerful if you have 3 Alolan Sync Pairs, but if you don't, it's only 20% stronger. Calculate the damage. That's a 1,430,978 for your flare cannon, and 3,790,605 for your piercing flare cannon. Now, if you get special moves up next effect +3 after you use your piercing flare cannon, your base flare cannon will be 2,333 damage. 333,000 damage rather. So that's pretty strong. But if you decide to go something like what I said earlier, just in case guys, because in the next update, DNA said something about being able to increase the energy cap, increase the amount of energy that you will have. So just in case you have something like that, you have basically increased the amount of energy. Let us check for the maximum damage this time, 50%. We gave ourselves super effective up next effect. We give ourselves like defeat the side opponents. That's a +4 stacks of physical moves up next effect, or rather special moves up next effect, plus use flare cannon to piercing flare cannon. Your special moves up next effect is gonna be +7. Calculate the damage. your base Flare Cannon goes all the way up to 5,651,208. And giving him his EX roll powers it up a little bit more, 5,872,824. That is for our DPS kit. Now, let's talk about the Sync Nuke. So Sync Nuke, again, this is just enough energy for everything. We got Brain Power. We got another one of our buddy moves just to power us up. We have Super Syncer. We have Speedster Sync 3. We have Lucky Skill Critical Strike 2. We have a super effective up next effect. And then we don't have Fairy Zone, by the way. I did not calculate Fairy Zone here. Calculate the damage. That's 4 million. Again, that's not 4 million. That's Piercing Flare Cannon. Calculate the damage. That's 3,717,900 damage. If you 6-star EX roll, if you give him the EX roll, that's 3,863,700 damage. Doesn't matter how many Alolan Sing pairs you bring in, that Sing move is not going to be powered up for your, for your master passive. It's not gonna affect the master passives. But in case we finally get Alolan Circle, it will power up your Sing move definitely. But now we don't have Alolan Circle yet, so we can ignore that one right now. So this is for level 140. And this is for these multipliers. If we have Fairy Zone, it will definitely be powered up, guys. If we have Fairy Zone, it will go up to 5,795,000. But for now, let's keep it clear. No Fairy Zone at the moment. Now, is this a good number? Because there are a lot of other Fairy type strikers in the game. So I kind of check everyone. And I think the closest is actually Lycia or New Year Lycia with these multipliers. Inertia, Bronze Sing 3. We got a super effective up next effect. We have 2 Sing Noctowls. With Critical Strike 2 over here, the damage could be 6-star EX. Calculate the damage. The Sing move is gonna be 3,977,013. Strong, but how do you... This is even more powerful than Sygna Gladion in this case. But how do you power her up? Well, you use a Battle Spectacular Raise your attack stat +4. So you cannot exactly maximize this. You have to use Inertia. The speed stat is not gonna be maxed out with Inertia because your speed stat is only gonna raise up by +4. So you have to have another Sing pair to max out your speed stat. So if we only have +4 speed stat and +4 attack stat, yes, all the opponent's stats are lowered to -6 here in this calculation. But if we only have that and we use 6-star EX, we calculate the damage, that amounts to 3,068,442 versus Sygna Gladion's 3,863,700. You just have to use X speed +1s, as well as use your Sing move first for Super Syncer. So that means your Sing move is gonna be your second Sing move. So if we decide not to give him the super effective up next effect, that goes down to 2,575,800. But for your second Sing move, which let's check out, Sing buff +1, your second Sing move with the super effective up next effect, it's gonna have 5,795,550 versus second Sing move for Lycia is gonna be 4,602,663. So overall, Sygna Gladion is better in terms of nuking, I guess, than Lycia. And here's the one thing that you have to think about as well. This Lycia is a striker. Earlier, I talked about how strikers have this emotional damage of not landing critical hits. And this Sygna Gladion has the passive skill, which is Soften Up 1. So again, you're guaranteed that your sync move is gonna always land critical hits, while Lycia always has the chance of not landing a critical hit with her sync move. Now, the Yanthine Gardevoir over here, her sync move is gonna be 2,499,976 versus, you know, if she's Mega Evolve, I think this is for the second sync move, 3,749,965. This is a 3 out of 5. The Yanthine Gardevoir. So, comparing this again, with the damage, 3,863,000 versus 2,499,000. Valerie and Mawile is actually pretty good. This is a free-to-play unit, Bronze Sync 3, Double Down, Sync Move Power Up plus 25 plus 25 plus 25. You just have to, you know, power yourself up. So this one, the problem with this one is that you have to use Swords Dance quite a lot of times. You have to use Might You Forgive Me quite a lot of times. So the build-up is quite difficult. But you'll be able to dish out quite strong damage. 3,530,000 versus 3,863 with a Super Sinker. But without the Super Sinker, again, it's 2 million something. With Valerie and Sylveon, it's pretty weak. And yes, we have Summer Lyra. I did not compute Summer Lyra anymore because I don't think she has any multipliers anyway. But we have another one. Another Fairy-type striker. But not for the normal role, but for the EX role. And that's actually Penny and Sylveon. And Penny and Sylveon can give the opponent Fairy-type rebuff. So, if you have her 5 out of 5, you get another Fairy-type rebuff. And if you decide to give her her Strike EX role, well, you can give every single opponent 2 Fairy-type rebuffs, which, if we compute that damage, 2 Fairy-type rebuffs for the opponent. No super effective up next effect, but she does have a sync move multiplier in the form of Brain Power, I think. 2,544,696. Not too bad for a support sync pair. And if we decide to give that double Fairy-type rebuff to probably Sygna Suit Gladion, we compute the damage that makes our sync move a lot stronger. 5,795,550. If we decide to give a Fairy Zone to Sygna Suit Gladion, the damage just goes way up. So now we have our Fairy-type team, guys. Fairy Zone in the form of... Who else has Fairy Zone aside from Sygna Suit Mina? Who else has Fairy Zone? Sygna Suit Wally. So either Sygna Suit Wally or Sygna Suit Mina. Plus, wait, I think Sygna Suit How also has Fairy Wish. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then pair him up with another support, which is Penny over here. So you have your super strong Fairy type team, which can dish out so much damage. And then again, with the triple, if you decide to use Piercing Flare Cannon with this one, the damage just crazy at 20,829,206. So this sync pair can go either way. You can look at this as a DPS sync pair with super strong base piercing flare cannon damage, or just look at it as a sync nuker. But overall, whatever Fairy type team you have, will be nice to have a master fair in your team, and that is Sygna Suit Gladion and Magearna. Do you want this sync pair after all this discussion? Well, again, your problem here is that all your moves, all your attacks, aside from X Speed Plus, are 4 move gauge attacks. Aside from that, not too much of an issue. Your stats cannot be lowered. You cannot be inflicted with status infliction / conditions. You'll power up all your allied sync pairs, special attack and special defense. You're basically guaranteed to hit all opponents with critical hits with your sync move and your normal attacks. And that is basically it. The special attack stat is pretty high. If you have him 6-star EX, Level 150 and EX rolled. His special attack stat is almost 500. I don't think it has reached 500 yet, but it is almost 500. And that is it. That is for all our discussion for Sygna Gladion. Complete the Aether Foundation, Aether Family, and scout for your faves instead of the meta. Again, one of the worst things that can happen is for you to get shafted so close to the anniversary. So, beware. This is a bait unit, and bait units, again, are meant to suck up your gems. That is the most horrible and the worst thing, the bad side of scouting for Sygna Gladion. Good sides, well, we discussed that earlier. So let me know in the comment section your answer to my second question. Are you falling? Are you taking the bait? As for him being a bait unit, pretty okay. But are you falling for the bait? Are you taking that bait? Says Lana. And if you are, good luck. Good luck. Because February 19, you only have a maximum of 10 days or 9 days before the anniversary drops. And I wish that everyone will be lucky in the anniversary. And I hope that we do not get more than 5 sync pairs in the anniversary. So far, DNA has followed through with only maximum of 5 sync pairs for December, January, February. Hopefully March will also be the same thing, a maximum of 5 sync pairs, because if not, that's gonna be painful for us. And so that is the end of this video. I hope you guys appreciated this. And again, don't forget to hit the like button, as well as let me know in the comment section if you are scouting. Share this video out to your friends, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to support me, hit the join button down below and become a member of my channel just like these people. And I'll be giving away gift memberships very soon as well. Probably when Sygna Gladion drops, we'll be giving away gift memberships. And thank you to the gifters of my channel for your extra support. And if you want to help me out with my job / my future, you can help me become a better Animal Flow teacher by going to my coffee.com/splgum page. I'm enrolled in a mentorship program. It's gonna happen in October, and I kind of need to shell out a huge amount of that much money, which is very painful. So help me out if you want. And with that, I leave you now. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Sol, also known as SPLgum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video. Right.